You walk into a local clinic in Japan. You sit in the waiting room for what feels like an hour, finally get called in, and before you know it, the doctor rushes through the exam in barely 3 minutes. But then comes the really confusing part. Despite the blink-and-you-miss-it consultation, you leave the pharmacy with a surprisingly massive stack of different medications. It's completely natural to assume the worst here. You might think the clinic is trying to maximize its profits, or that the doctor simply doesn't care enough to give you a thorough checkup. That frantic 3-minute consultation is a calculated survival strategy, forced by the math of national policy. In fact, if these local doctors don't rush you out the door as fast as possible, their clinics will mathematically collapse. It all comes down to Japan's medical fee remuneration system. This is the national insurance framework that makes healthcare incredibly accessible and affordable for the general public. Take a look at this chart. It shows the base remuneration fee per patient visit set by the government, and it is exceptionally low. This is the critical constraint placed on the people actually trying to run these businesses. Now look at what happens when we chart the massive fixed costs required to keep a modern clinic open: the rent, the specialized staff, the utilities. That tiny income bar is completely dwarfed. That overhead gets even heavier when you factor in the hardware. To provide quality care and stay competitive, clinics have to purchase and maintain millions of yen worth of state-of-the-art diagnostic and monitoring equipment. So how do you bridge the massive gap between a low per-patient fee and a staggering operating cost? You have to drastically multiply your patient volume. Pushing a high volume of patients through the door is not a moral failing. It is the core economic engine keeping local Japanese healthcare financially solvent. This intense financial pressure physically alters how these clinics are designed and how the staff moves through them every single day. To maximize speed, many clinics use a cycling method. Instead of one patient slowly walking into the doctor's office, the patients are prepped and waiting in multiple examination rooms, and the doctor continuously sprints from one room to the next. The high volume of pills is a direct result of this compressed timeline. When there isn't enough time to narrow down a single root cause through a deep diagnostic conversation, doctors often treat every reported symptom individually. It's a scattergun approach designed to cover all bases in under 180 seconds. The modern Japanese clinic has become a highly calibrated, high-speed assembly line. But this extreme efficiency creates a serious medical risk. When you are rushing through patients, you develop a massive blind spot regarding their holistic health history. The problem is compounded by a major infrastructural gap. Japan does not have a unified, nationwide electronic medical record system. The ear, nose, and throat doctor down the street cannot easily see what your dermatologist prescribed you last week. When you combine that isolated data with the sheer volume of pills being prescribed, you get a very real danger of overlapping medications or dangerous chemical interactions. To survive this high-speed system safely, Japan relies on a surprisingly analog defense mechanism, the Okusei Techem, or medicine notebook. This physical booklet is your best protection. You have to meticulously update it, write down clear memos about your symptoms before you even enter the doctor's room, and aggressively consult with your local pharmacist to verify your treatment plan. You cannot change the macroeconomic pressures that demand a 3-minute consultation. But by taking personal ownership of your medical data, you can guarantee you walk out of that clinic safely.